funding fallacy. Why money isn't the answer to your business problems. Welcome to a paradigm-shifting exploration that will challenge everything you think you know about business success. Today, we're diving deep into a revolutionary perspective that's turning the world of entrepreneurship on its head. And our guide on this journey, none other than the visionary India Brown, a trailblazer in business development, whose insights are not just reshaping how we think about entrepreneurship, but actively transforming lives and economies. India Brown isn't just an expert, she's a force of nature in the business world. Her groundbreaking research and hands-on experience have uncovered truths that are simultaneously shocking and liberating. She's the voice that dares to challenge the status quo, the mind that sees beyond conventional wisdom, and the heart that truly understands the struggles and aspirations of small business owners. Now, picture this. You're a small business owner. You've poured your heart and soul into your venture. You've sacrificed, you have struggled, and now you're facing obstacles that seem insurmountable. What's your instinctive response? If you're like most entrepreneurs, you're probably thinking, yeah, if only I had more funding, everything would fall into place. But what if I told you that this very belief, this near universal assumption, is not just wrong, but potentially destructive to your business? Let that sink in for a moment. We're about to shatter one of the most pervasive myths in the business world, and the implications are staggering. Here's the bombshell that India Brown's research has uncovered. In a staggering 80% of cases, what small businesses truly need isn't more money. It's better business development skills. That's right. 8 out of 10 times, when a business owner is desperately seeking funding, what they really need is to level up their own abilities as a business leader. This isn't just counterintuitive, it's revolutionary. It challenges everything we've been taught about business growth and success. We've been so fixated on the what products to sell, what markets to enter, what investors to court, that we've completely overlooked the how to run a business effectively, how to make strategic decisions, how to lead a team to success. But here's where it gets really interesting and potentially uncomfortable. Most small business owners don't even realize they have this blind spot. They're so convinced that their funding shortfall is the root of all their problems that they never stop to consider that the real issue might be staring back at them in the mirror. Now, I can almost hear the collective gasp. I can sense the resistance building. But without money, how can a business possibly grow? Said, you might ask. It's a valid question, and I promise we'll address it. But first, let's dive deeper into why this funding fallacy is so dangerous. Consider this real-world example that India shared. There was a small tech startup bursting with innovative ideas and passionate founders. They were convinced that if they could just secure another round of funding, they'd be able to scale their operations and finally break through. They spent months courting investors, perfecting their pitch, and chasing that elusive capital injection. But here's the twist. When India sat down with them and really dug into their operations, she discovered that their real problem wasn't a lack of funds. It was a fundamental misunderstanding of their target market, coupled with a complete absence of a coherent marketing strategy. All the money in the world wouldn't have solved those problems. What they needed was to develop their skills in market analysis and strategic planning. This isn't an isolated incident. It's a pattern that India has seen repeated time and time again across various industries. From retail to services, manufacturing to tech, the story is the same. Business owners fixating on funding when what they really need is to invest in their own development. But why does this misconception persist? Why are we so quick to blame our business woes on a lack of capital? The answer lies in our human nature. It's far easier to point to an external factor, in this case, a lack of money, than it is to look inward and acknowledge our own shortcomings. It's comfortable, it's safe, and it's completely wrong. Let's be clear. Money is important in business, but it's not the panacea we've been led to believe. In fact, throwing money at a business without the skills to manage it effectively is like pouring water into a leaky bucket. No matter how much you add, you'll never fill it up. This brings us to the crux of India Brown's revolutionary approach. Instead of immediately seeking funding, she advocates for a radical shift in perspective. Business owners need to start by assessing their own knowledge and understanding of what it truly means to be a business owner. They need to take a hard, honest look at their skills, their strengths, and yes, their weaknesses. Now, I can already hear the objections. But I've been running my business for years. I know what I'm doing. And that may be true. But in the rapidly evolving world of business, what worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. The skills that got you where you are today might not be the ones you need to reach the next level. This is where India's approach becomes truly transformative. She proposes a comprehensive self-assessment for business owners. This isn't just a quick questionnaire or a superficial evaluation. It's a deep dive into every aspect of running a business, from financial management to team leadership, from strategic planning to market analysis. This assessment leaves no stone unturned. The results can be eye-opening and often humbling. Many business owners who go through this process discover gaps in their knowledge that they never knew existed. They uncover blind spots that have been holding them back for years. And most importantly, they gain a clear roadmap for where they need to focus their efforts to truly grow their business. But here's the real kicker. Once business owners have this clarity, once they've identified the areas where they need to improve, something magical happens. Suddenly, they start seeing opportunities they never noticed before. They begin to use their existing resources more effectively. And in many cases, they find that they can achieve significant growth without any additional funding at all. Let me share another powerful example from India's work. There was a small manufacturing company that had been struggling for years. They were barely breaking even, and the owner was convinced that if he could just secure a loan to upgrade his equipment, everything would turn around. India worked with him to conduct a thorough assessment of his business skills and knowledge. What they uncovered was surprising. The owner had a great understanding of the manufacturing process, but he was completely out of his depth when it came to financial management and marketing. Instead of pursuing a loan, India guided the owner through an intensive skills development program. He learned how to properly analyze his financials, how to price his products more effectively, and how to market to the right customers. The results were astounding. Within 6 months, without any additional funding, the company's profits had increased by 40%. The owner was able to upgrade his equipment using the increased revenue, and the business continued to grow. This story illustrates a crucial point. When we focus on developing our skills and knowledge, we often find that we need far less funding than we initially thought. We become more efficient, more strategic, and more effective at using the resources we already have. But let's be clear, this isn't about working harder. It's about working smarter. It's about developing the skills and knowledge that will allow you to see opportunities where others see obstacles. It's about becoming the kind of business leader who can turn a small investment into massive growth. Now, I can already hear some of you protesting, but my business is different. My industry is unique. And you're right, every business is unique. But the principles of good business management are universal. Whether you're running a corner store or a tech startup, the fundamental skills of leadership, strategic planning, and financial management are the same. India's research has shown time and time again that when business owners focus on developing these core skills, they often find innovative solutions to their problems that don't require additional funding. They become more creative, more resilient, and more adaptable. Take, for example, a small retail business that was struggling to compete with larger chains. The owner was convinced that she needed a large loan to expand her inventory and renovate her store. But after going through India's assessment process, she realized that her real weakness was in customer service and community engagement. Instead of taking on debt, she invested time in training her staff in superior customer service techniques and started organizing community events in her store. The result? Customer loyalty skyrocketed, word-of-mouth referrals increased, and her sales grew by 25% in just 3 months, all without spending a dime on renovation or inventory expansion. This story highlights another crucial aspect of India's approach: the power of focusing on your strengths and addressing your weaknesses. When we truly understand our businesses and ourselves, we can make strategic decisions that yield far greater returns than simply throwing money at the problem. But here's where it gets really exciting. India's research shows that this approach doesn't just benefit individual businesses, it has the potential to transform entire communities and economies. When small businesses thrive without taking on unsustainable debt, they create more stable jobs, contribute more to local economies, and build more resilient communities. Imagine a world where every small business owner took this approach, a world where entrepreneurs were as focused on developing their skills as they were on developing their products. The impact would be revolutionary. We'd see more resilient businesses, more innovative solutions, and more sustainable growth. This isn't just a theory. It's a proven approach that India Brown has used to transform countless businesses and communities. And now it's your turn. It's time to stop waiting for funding to solve your problems and start taking control of your business destiny. So here's the challenge I want to leave you with today. Instead of asking yourself, how can I get more funding? Start asking, how can I become a better business owner? What skills do you need to develop? What areas of your business knowledge need strengthening? This isn't an easy process. It requires honesty, humility, and a willingness to learn. But the rewards are immeasurable. By focusing on your own development, you're not just improving your current business, you're setting yourself up for success in any venture you pursue in the future. Remember, the most valuable investment you can make isn't in your business, it's in yourself. Develop your skills, expand your knowledge, and become the kind of business leader who can turn any opportunity into success. As we wrap up this paradigm shifting exploration, I want to leave you with this thought. The future of your business isn't in someone else's wallet. It's in your own mind. It's in your ability to learn, to grow, and to lead. So I challenge you, no, I dare you to rethink everything you thought you knew about business success. I dare you to look beyond the funding fallacy and start investing in the most valuable asset you have, yourself. Are you ready to stop chasing dollars and start chasing knowledge? Are you prepared to become the kind of business leader who doesn't need a bailout to break through? Are you willing to embrace the discomfort of self-reflection and personal growth? The choice is yours. You can continue on the well-worn path of seeking external solutions, or you can blaze a new trail, one that leads to true business mastery and sustainable success. Remember, in the world of business, knowledge isn't just power, it's profit, it's resilience. It's the key to unlocking potential you never knew you had. So, what will it be? Will you continue to buy into the funding fallacy? Or will you join the revolution with self empowered entrepreneurs who are rewriting the rules of business success? The time to decide is now. The time to act is now. The future of your business and perhaps even your community depends on it. Thank you.